Okay, so what I was thinking about. Oh, by the way, fucking very interesting. I didn't know this was a thing. Anissa had to tell me about it. Hasan already calls himself white. Yeah, yeah. Well, how about this? Pale Hasan. Is that better? I think Pale Hasan might be better because the implication that it's just regular Hasan, but a little bit more pale, like without a tan or whatever. Okay, you got to get close to it. You're out of frame completely.
Okay. I thought the joke was that Hasan is white and you're just ignorant to like Turkish, like because his name's Hasan. You don't know he's white, so you're calling yourself White Hasan.
I mean, it's both. It's all of it, right? It's funny because he is white. You know, he did the cracker or the what's it called? The white slur tier list. And you know, both him and Pedo Troll at that time said that they could do that because they were both considered white. So, yeah, fuck it, Black Hassan. No, 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 no. But yeah, it's all of the things. You know what I mean? Turks are not white. Yeah, I mean, see, right? Depending on who you talk to. Also, they say that. I mean, Arabs are considered white in the U.S., right? But like, you can have. I mean, Arab is a very like that's a large encompassing. What would you call that? Ethnicity classification. And yeah. Woke Hassan. The true woke Hassan. No, I don't have. Yeah. Can we make a command in the chat so people can type in exclamation point ethnicity so that they can discover what an ethnicity I am? And it just pops up in the chat, white. Personally, I don't think Turks or Arabs are white. When I'm amongst white people, they don't treat me like I'm white, even though I'm as white as Idubbbz. Yeah, but it's going to be fucking. I've heard some of the stories that Anissa's told me about being like, you know, white passing, but also being like very, you know, aware of these moments. Like there was oh man, the fucking like cable person that came to the house. What do you remember what they said, Anissa? There was a guy installing in Canada who was installing. Yeah, tell it.
Ian used to sleep in really late, so we had a cable guy coming to our Edmonton house in Mill Woods. And Mill Woods is like, there's a lot of first gen immigrants in the neighborhood. He was like this.
Yeah, both of our neighbors were Indian, I think.
Yeah, both of our neighbors were Indian. And a lot of Canadians are stupid as fuck. I mean, a lot of Americans are as well. But he was in my house and he was fixing the cable and Ian wasn't there. It was just me and him. And he goes, "Oh, you have no idea how much of a relief it is." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, you know, just this whole neighborhood's full of dirty Muslims and their house always smells." And it was really awkward. I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reported him, but then he also came back to the house.
Uh-huh.
Remember that?
Yeah, he came back to the house. I think he thought Anissa was single, and he thought it was somehow appropriate. I mean, go figure. The guy who said that in the first place thought it was appropriate to come back and check on the cable and make sure that it's doing well. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I've never had a fucking cable person like show up on their own after the fact, like, yeah, just do my due diligence, making sure everything's working. But I answered the door, and I think it was a disappointment to him. Yeah, it's very inappropriate. But that was an example where I was like, Anissa told me immediately after it happened, and I was like, yeah, fucking go figure. You're white passing enough. It didn't even register in that guy's mind to like watch what he was saying. Obviously, he's fucking dumb as rocks, but still. Okay. Okay, big news. Ethan Klein is trying to talk shit again. He's crying on his Instagram that I'm referring to him as the pedo troll. And he's like posting some of my fucking nasty tweets from whenever it was. He says that it was so much more recent. Yes, Ethan, and I'm willing to say that it's all garbage and I shouldn't have been doing that. And I am ashamed of that behavior. And it's sad. It's a really sad thing that I thought that shit was funny and was something I was going to look back on and be okay with. But Pedo Troll isn't ashamed of it. He said that he's not ashamed of it. He literally said that. When the fucking account was found, I could bring it up. He says, I'm not ashamed of it. All right, dude. Whatever. I'm not saying... Actually, I am saying that. I was going to say, I'm not saying I'm better than you. That's exactly what I'm saying. You fucking loser. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where it's like, listen, I don't want to be invoking the scary name, the legend of Pedo Troll. Like, referring to Pedo Troll, that is, like, not... Like, that's not a fun thing for anyone. It's scary. It makes people fucking wet their pants hearing the words Pedo Troll, okay? So don't think that I want to be talking about Pedo Troll, aka Ethan Klein. But I'm reminded every time he mentions my name on the podcast, saying, you know, making fun of me, my wife harassing us, bringing on disgraced boxing coaches, like, Pedo Troll pops up in my mind. I can't not think of it. He tried out even the biggest Hasan haters, and now he's all in on you and Anissa. Yeah. Don't say it 3 times, you'll conjure him. Yeah, let me look at it. Bro can't even pretend to be woke. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like, it does make me feel terrible when people show these tweets, because I'm like, I'm using the N-word in them. I'm making rape jokes. It's really, like, it's horrible shit. And, like, I don't know. From anyone else, I'm kind of like, yeah, like, I get it. This is awful. But yeah, from Pedo Troll, I'm just like, come on, dude. Let's be real. So please, Ian, tell me more about Pedo Troll while you're doing this shit on Maine. Okay. Pedo Troll. Pedo Troll, Pedo Troll, Pedo Troll. I don't like Pedo Troll. It's creepy. Oh, you know what would happen? He would emerge from a pool of Fiona's cancer vomit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's scary.
You know.
With the bad posture as well. Anyway, let's get back to fucking Greta. Ethan Klein's a coward, a loser, and what else? Oh, and he doesn't care about anti-Semitism in the slightest. So, yeah. Fuck you, loser bitch. Yeah, and his breath probably smells like hot dog water. He's probably in here right now. One of the little, like, dude, the fact that this stream is probably running on a loop, it is, like, bookmarked, and, like, the first person in here is probably fucking Creepy Giardia, is such a sad thing. Like, that's terrible. Giardia! What could I'm trying to think what would be entertaining for Giardia. Should I just, like... Oh, I think it'd be entertaining if I found, like, a document or something with a ton of information on it about me or Anissa, and just flash it on screen really quick. And then she can spend a couple of days trying to, like, figure out what exactly it said. Okay, Bitsoft said... This is so funny. Is that BLT? Yeah, BLT Soft says, at this point, I just watch both of you for the goofs and drama. Best content on the internet. Is that sad to say? It is sad to say. I think it's very appropriate to shame someone like you who's just like, I just like the entertainment. It's just entertaining. It's like, no, it's like real people. I think Ethan and the crew, I think they're all suffering in their own way. And I think I and Anissa have been suffering in our own way. I think it's really weird to not, like, I feel like it's very unprincipled to be offense writing on a situation like this, where it's just like, it's entertaining. It's just entertainment. Yeah, it's not a bit. Like that's why I was like that's why the content comp originally had this like empathetic lean to it. Ian gets a lot of flack for coming to the left late or not being as read up on it, but his instinct to reach back to people who might follow the same path is absolutely critical, and many activists miss the wisdom of it. I'm gonna spit some info. I was very libertarian coded. You know, I did grow up watching Fox News, and like as I made my videos over time and like evolved as a person, like one of the people that I did see like beyond XQC or Mizkif or random like more apolitical people like reacting to my videos, one of the people that I saw reacting to my videos was Hasan. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting that he isn't like, he's a mega super lefty and he's okay with watching my videos. He's giving me the time of day and my content the time of day. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, you know, that has definitely like influenced my perspective of like, oh, not everyone is just immediately clocking, I don't know, my use of the N-word or any of these things as like me being inherently like fucking flawed as a human being. And he's watching a video for what it is, you know, whether that be like, I don't know, one of the documentaries or I think one that I saw was like my COVID video, because everyone kind of everyone's banking on the idea that if they express any, I don't know, like allegiance or sympathy or understanding of the left, that they're going to be met with that Jordan Peterson bullshit of your own will eat you. They'll eat you.
I also have to add that, like, I was always leftist. Like, that's one thing that's actually true. Like, a lot of people get right on the internet is that I had a very different political position from Ian when I met him.
Being raised Muslim and Muslim. Being raised Muslim and Canadian.
But I think also on top of that, because I met Hasan in 2016. We did like name's Austin. Real name's Austin.
Austin show.
And we were talking politics, and it was the first time that I had met somebody that got it. And I think that, like, I fell in love with Ian because I think, yes, he had a certain idea of how the world worked, but I could like, you had a ton of empathy. You had a ton of empathy.
Fuck editing. Fuck that shit. What am I, fat? Damn, this nigga's on the grind. Say Nick.
Cared deeply about people and things. You just had a very
warped. I was super warped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like when people kind of outreach the hand for you, it helped you realize that, like, okay, these concepts are not, it's more, I don't know who I am yet. And I feel like you're figuring out who you are now more, but you've always cared.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's like the basis that a lot of people see in the content cops, is they see a lot of passion and a lot of care in their own way, right? It's like fucking, you know, obviously things could be handled differently, more maturely, but I think that's what they're seeing. And they're like, you shouldn't apologize for those. You were doing something right. I think your thing about catering to your 2016 South fans is that to them, your reputation is so far gone that even if you made a video just yelling the N-word now, they wouldn't care and still laugh at you. Those viewers may never come back. The style of Content Cop isn't bad in and of itself. You created that entire wave of videos and you popularized the style. That style can still work as a leftist. You can just leave out the slurs and still go after bad people. I agree, Dread St. Mari, which is why I did the H3 Content Cop. There's a balancing act, though. I've talked about it in therapy and stuff. It's just this idea of how much am I going to like engage in that side of me, the dark side or whatever.
Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill.
I do get very emboldened. I get very passionate, and I think I see some of that like passion, like, and the feeling of like anger almost, I guess, turned into passion. I see that same thing kind of happen to others online and in my old videos as well. And I do worry about it sometimes because I'm like, I need to chill. How much do I indulge in this? Because I know that people aren't immune to it, right? You watch Pedo Troll Klein, and it's very obvious that that's what's going on there. Like, he has he's deeply angry at the world and at people, and he wants to blame others for a lot. And I know I'm not in the same position, obviously, but I do see the same sort of effect that can happen. Like, I feel like we are all capable of getting lost in the sauce a little bit. One thing that Ethan got so wrong is saying that Hasan brainwashed his audience. No, I've been a radical leftist since I learned how to read. It was nice when Ethan started to advocate more for minorities in the podcast with Hasan, but obviously he didn't give a fuck. Yes. You watch... Dude, it's insane. It makes me so mad. Like, you're right. It could be its own fucking... Like, there is such a deficit of content covering this sort of shit to explain it to people. You watch every fucking episode of that leftover shit. Like, it was awful. Honestly. It was basically the Hasan show, and Ethan would just say... It was just like a Hasan stream, but Ethan would occasionally come in with a fucking... like his own like liberal version of a thing. It was not good. It was not good, and it was not good for the reason that they weren't on the same page. There wasn't like a very good dynamic there. It wasn't like the Ethan and Trisha thing. It was like Ethan kind of missing out on what like the core values are. Ethan was legit shocked when Hasan said he wasn't a capitalist. I mean, just what? That's why it's such bullshit. He could have watched Hasan streams at any fucking point in time. It is so painfully obvious. He didn't want that to be the case, though, because he was just coming off his breakup with Trisha, and he wanted another big fucking Vine to grab. That's all he wanted. Like, yeah, oh, look at this. Another fucking, a big audience. He didn't care that there was a whole different ideology behind it. He was like, yeah, I'll ride this wave, whatever the fucking wave is. And then he acts like he was groomed later. I had no idea what was happening before I knew it.
He stole and valored the queer community from Trisha.
Yes, he did.
And they figured it out after Bottomgate that he just stole that audience because of Trisha. Fuck him. I hate that shit, actually.
Yeah. Ethan never researched, didn't care. Used anything to prove his uneducated points. I mean, he didn't even fucking research the guy that he was making a show with. All of this was very clear. He literally could have just watched an hour of Hasan's stream. He did not care about that at all. He said, this guy has a lot of viewers. Also, I think it's worth fucking mentioning. There was a time when Anissa and I did our little podcast that got a couple thousand views per episode called She Ruined My Career. And there were people like 2 years ago, but they were saying things like, why don't you get Ethan on your podcast? He would do it to help you get more views. And I was like, I don't want to just bring someone on to get fucking views. Like, if I felt like there was anything of value to gain out of that, like, sure. Like, but the views isn't the value. And it's so fascinating. Like, you can see how different the mindset is, even with Ethan. He wants to, like, endlessly mock the views that I'm getting on my shit, whether it's the stream, whether it's videos. Of course, he won't mock the views I get on the Content Cop. He's just saying that that's all snark brain bullshit. But he obsesses over these views. And it's like, dude, you wouldn't be in this situation if you didn't obsess over views. Like, that's why you ended up colossally fucking up time and time again, is because you put views and money over morals and principles. Loser shit. I know you said you and Ethan weren't ever close friends, but how long ago was it when you realized that he wasn't a real friend and it was just about content for him? I mean, that's always been the case. You're friendly to do content together, but like, I didn't like the way that he was doing his fucking show. Like, I didn't like that shit. I didn't like that he brought on Dax Flame and essentially told him to do like to get angry and start drama with Charlie Puth. That was like a whole like premise. After we did the Dax Flame documentary, Ice Cream Man, he brought him on. He was like, "Oh, this will be the angle for my show today." You know, I didn't like that. You know, and he thinks that it was awesome that he brought like Anissa and I on when we were like going through drama and shit. But it's like, no, that was still like not fun for us. Like, so a lot of the things that he thinks of as like this great benefit that he bestowed upon us, it was just like a lot of that shit was just like it is what it is. Like, it exists. I can't say that any of it fucking helped me. I was already doing well view-wise without any of that. But yeah, it's just like a mutual thing. A lot of people do that. Like, like a lot of these people that you collaborate with online as like a fellow creator, you essentially, it's like, it's a partial endorsement of their channel where it's like, I like this person's stuff. They like my stuff. And we can get mutual benefit from each other. Like, it hasn't been terribly deep. Like, and as much as he tries to make it seem deep, it's not deep. It really isn't. And I know that because I've been through a lot and I know what a fucking like a real friend is. This stuff is not even close to real friendship. Not even remotely. And I do believe that Ethan is confused about that sort of shit because I do not think he has too many like super close friends. And you know, I understand that. It's hard.
Your life is everything. You serve all purpose. You should treat yourself now